everybody, welcome to the consumer goods without giving equity in your company. Why consumer goods? Why funding? What are we talking about today? We're talking about getting money for your project, for your company, for your product. Why consumer goods? Because that's what we can help you with. We cannot help you with other things that we don't know. We specialize in consumer packaged goods, things you sell to consumers. And that's why we're going to help get funding for that. What are your alternatives? You can go to venture capitalists. You can go to angel investors. All very valid. We've done all of that. You can go and access the public markets. All very valid. But that's not our focus for today. We're going to talk today about crowdfunding, different types of crowdfunding, and we will talk most about crowdfunding through pre-sales or gifts, because that's very common for consumer packaged goods. People have raised more than $1 billion for a single project using the gift method, and we're going to talk about that today. Welcome. My name is Jorge Olson. I'm the author of several books, including the one you saw, Build Your Beverage Empire. It is about building beverages, production, sales, distribution, selling your beverage company. But I have other books. I have The Unselfish Guide to Self-Promotion, Successonomics, that I co-wrote with Steve Forbes. I also co-wrote My Marketing Mentors. If you don't know who he is, you should read at least 3 or 4 of his books. If you're in marketing, if you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, you should read Dan Kennedy. Stand Apart is the book that I co-wrote with him. I've been a bestseller especially for the book Build Your Beverage Empire, 6 years running, top 1% of all books sold in the entire United States. The other ones have been bestsellers, but not top 1% for 6 years. That was I've launched 2 publicly traded companies, sold different companies, started more than 1,000 different consumer packaged goods over a long period of time. I have more than 100,000 subscribers to my newsletter. These are not visitors, these are subscribers. And I appear in the media all the time, including some of the ones that you see here, Wall Street Journal, New York Times. I've been quoted on Forbes, I've been quoted on Success Magazine, I've been quoted on several radio stations, etc. That's just so you know a little bit about me. If you have joined other webinars already, probably feel you already know me, maybe already spoke with me over the phone 1 or several times. Enough about me, let's get started. What is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is raising money. That's it. Crowdfunding, using the crowd to raise money. Kickstarter and Indiegogo are the largest crowdfunding sites at the moment. That's it. That's the definition. You use a crowd to raise money. What are the different types of crowdfunding? My favorite, donations. It's the project, they like your product, or they like you, and they give you money. Rewards. They select the first one, but you give them something, a gift, a product, a t-shirt, something. It is like the first one, only with a gift. And then the third, investment. This is not money dealing with venture capitalists, angel investors, or other type of investors. They take equity in your company or debt. You owe them the money. What is the difference between crowdfunding using equity and going to a venture capitalist? The only difference is here you can have many different investors, not just one. So if you're raising $1 million, as an example, you can have 100, 200, 1,000 investors versus maybe just one. That's the difference. We are going to focus on the first 2, especially rewards. We're going to be talking about rewards. By the way, if you have questions about crowdfunding, if you want specifics, let me know. I'll answer the questions over the phone. Of crowdfunding. Well, the largest projects we found, because there's some that we might not know, but the largest one we found so far is $200 million. That's the largest one. So it works. $200 million is a lot. But we also found the typical ones, right? I don't know if you heard about the $10 million one. That was a very popular one. It was not only popular because it raised $10 million. It was popular because it was a launch pad for the company to get the product into retail. And we're going to talk about that because that's one of my favorite things about crowdfunding and what we're doing. That you can get your product into stores using crowdfunding. Isn't that spectacular? We'll be talking about that in a moment. And you have some for donations that are awesome as well. Now we want to mix the type of funding with gifts and donations because some of our projects are social projects. No, not where you're giving stuff away, where you are helping the community, where you launch a project, a product, and build into the business model is helping the community. That's what we want you to do. Is there money in crowdfunding? Is it realistic? Can you get money? Is it easy? Is it hard? What's up with crowdfunding? In 2011, what we could find out, because again, a lot of these numbers are in countries that we don't have data like Latin America. But what we could find out, sites, platforms that call themselves crowdfunding platforms, these are the numbers from there. They're not from people going out and raising money from a lot of other people. This is from websites that call themselves crowdfunding websites only. $1.5 billion. The next year, it grew to $2.7 billion. Not too bad. But nobody knew about it. In 2013, it grew to $5.1 billion. Let me tell you something. I have conversations about crowdfunding about 10 times, 11 times per day. Only about 10 to 15 people know what it is. Imagine that. Sites and people do not know what it is. That's the potential of crowdfunding. What can you expect? A lot of you are already working with us, and you're here because you want to learn more and be trained and mentored. A lot of you are starting a project. A lot of you already have products and want to sell your products. What can you expect? What are the hard numbers? Now, it doesn't mean to you, but what are the hard numbers? What can we learn from these numbers? Investment type crowdfunding typically raises $100,000. You're giving away equity, so these are professional investors. You're not raising money from mom and pop. These are accredited investors that you're raising capital from, angels, let's say. The average for donations is $4,000 to $5,000. Yes, there's some that are $10 million. But there's a lot that are $4,000 or $5,000. Why is that? A lot of people only ask for $4,000 or $5,000. Remember, a lot of crowdfunding projects, the majority are not consumer packaged goods. Somebody wants to open a park. Somebody wants to throw an event. Somebody wants to do something small, so they ask for $2,000. They ask for $500. They ask for $200. That's very normal. These are numbers. That's not what we will do, and that's not what you will do, but you need to know these numbers. Many campaigns, the majority of campaigns do not raise any money. Let me tell you a lot about this because this is very important right here. If you do your research, you will realize that the big companies, the big platforms fund about 5% of their campaigns. That means 95% go through all of the work that you would go through to launch a product. and never get funded. That is amazing because you already did all the work. There's another number that you do not know. Most campaigns do not even make it to be live. Let me repeat that. Most campaigns do not even start. They do all the work, never get the green light to start. And I've had people that come to me that spend 2, 3, 4 weeks working full time, getting their videos, getting their sales pitch, getting their photos. And week after week after week, they are denied. You need more. You need this. You need this. With no help, just people telling them you cannot start. Now, those numbers we're not including here, but if we would include them, in my personal estimate, much less than 1% get funded. That is awful. Less than 1%, maybe 1/10 of 1% get funded. Why does that happen? Because you're on your own. It's like if you start your own website and you throw in a video and you throw in a sales page and then you expect people to give you money. This is what a lot of people think crowdfunding is, and it is not. You are supposed to bring your own traffic. So then why would you use some of these other sites? Well, exactly. That's exactly. Because a lot of people think they already have traffic. They already have donators. You are expected to bring in your own money. So if you don't get mentoring, if you don't get sales, if you don't get help with marketing, then why should you go there? Well, you should not. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you prepare a campaign? But before we do that, let's talk about self-funding, because I told you what the others are. Let me tell you what this one is. Self-funding is for consumer packaged goods. It is a crowdfunding platform, and you can access it and start your project at softfunding.com. It is in beta. That means it is not live, but you can start anyway. It is in beta, but not for users, not for people that want to start projects. You can use it, but consumers cannot use it yet. Only you can use it. Now, what is it? Imagine a gift-based crowdfunding that helps you with mentoring. It walks you through the process of marketing. In other words, everything that you need to do to launch a project, to launch a company, you will do in self-funding, except for the legalities and contacting your lawyer and your accountant. Everything else, packaging, development, pricing, your value-added proposition, your unique selling proposition, getting the right consumer to pre-buy your product and fund you and give you money. All of that you will do in self-funding. Imagine creating a product and launching a company from 1 to 100. Those are the 100. Traditional crowdfunding probably covers from number 20 to number 30, those steps. We will cover number 1 to 1. From the idea to the business model to the normal crowdfunding, yes, we'll do that too. But then beyond, once you have your product, you don't stop working with us. Once you have your product, you're just starting to work with us, because we will put your product in retail stores. We will put your product in wholesalers. We will be your broker. See that you will continue selling your product in the platform. There's no catch. You heard right. You will continue, so it never ends. It's just that you're not being pre-funded now. Now you're selling your product. So you can even have your entire business model around self-funding. Now, what is the ultimate thing that you can expect from self-funding? What is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to find your perfect consumer. You will find the perfect consumer. You will tell them what you have, and they will pre-buy from you and continue buying, building your business model before you produce one product. Imagine that. Let me repeat it. This is the most important thing that we're going to talk today, because this is how you launch any product. You find your perfect consumer, your target market, person who will buy your product no matter what. We're going to help you find them, reach them, and communicate with them. Once you do, they will pre-buy your product, money for your product. You will produce your product and continue selling to them. And that's the start of your business model. Because if you have them, you will have enough money for funding and for growth. And once you get the rest of the consumers, then you can take it to retail. You can take it to other platforms. Let me tell you the failure. What's a failure? For me, it's not a failure, but you could call it a failure. Let's say that your perfect consumer doesn't like your product, and they say, you know what? We don't like it. Is that bad? No, it is not bad, because you didn't spend any money. You didn't have to produce 1,000 cases, spend $250,000 producing a product that nobody wants, that your perfect consumer does not want. You did not connect with your consumer. Don't say, we don't like it. How will they say that? Well, they'll tell you, and then they won't buy it. So what do? You go back, you make it better, you create a new product. But guess what? All of that learning, it costs you a little bit of time, but not 2 years. 2 years is typical, by the way. It did not cost you 2 years. Maybe 2 months, not 2 years. And not $250,000, which is the average somebody spends out there. Nobody wants their product. That's what we have. Now, there's something that we're going to ask from you. There's something that we're going to ask from the brands. You have to have a social component. We only work with social entrepreneurs. If you don't know how to be a social entrepreneur, we will assign you a mentor. We will give you books. We'll show you how to be a social entrepreneur. What's a social entrepreneur? A social entrepreneur is somebody who gives back. Something very easy is you give back 5% of what you make. That's easy. But maybe we want you to do a little bit more. Number one, part of the pledges, part of the gifts that you're going to have will have a social component. Let's say that you have 10 things that you give away. Let's say that you're producing a vitamin product. And you say, if you buy one case of vitamins or one packet of vitamins, it's $12. If you buy 2, it's $20. If you buy 3, we'll throw in a hat, etc. But we want you to have one where you're donating vitamins, or you're helping somebody in the community, or some organization in the community. Or maybe it's built into your company, like Pump's shoes, right? You buy one pair of shoes, they give one in Africa. That's awesome. We want you to learn how to be a social entrepreneur. If you don't know how, no worries. We will show you. And you will see whether it is because it comes from your heart, or whether it is because you're interested in the money side only. If you help, you will get more business. Even if your intention was just to get more business. That is self-funding. Self-funding includes mentoring, project management. Project management, can you imagine? Product development and production. What does that mean for people giving you money? That they are guaranteed that they're going to get the product. That's what it means. They know they're going to get the product. There's no doubt. By the way, that's a hot topic with other networks, because a lot of people are not getting the products that they thought they were purchasing. It's a gift, but they thought they were purchasing, and the entrepreneurs just forget about it. It's too hard. They don't want to do it anymore, and they keep the money. Marketing, promotion, public relations. Sales to retail wholesalers and online sales. Now, why do we do all of these for free? Well, we take a commission, of course, but why do we do all of this at no cost? Because we want to work with the best. And if you get funded, if you find the consumers who give you money, that means your product is going to make it. And we want to work with products that are going to make it. That's why we can do this. How does it work? Very simple. You go to soft funding. At the bottom, you can start your project in 3 minutes. After you start your project, you'll get a call from your product manager or your future project manager, and they will guide you on what you need to do. They will send you a quick start guide. They will push you. They will ask you keep you in line with your timeline. So if you're committed, you're going to finish this. Our goal is not to have some projects. Our goal is to fund as many projects as we can. And there's a difference there, because we can only work with so many companies. We're betting on these companies. We're betting that they're going to be successful. So we can only work with so many companies. Once you start your project, we will get to start your project, your company, your product. Remember, everything that you do in soft funding is what you need to do in real life. Everything that will tell you that you need to do is things that you would need to do anyway, but you can take a long time to find out. There's a shortcut. If you are quick, you can probably do everything. If you don't have anything, you can probably get everything in a week. If you are not, well, you're never going to do it, but maybe you can take a month. If you already have photos and sales material, maybe you can take a day. Most people do not have what it takes to start a business right now. Even if you think you do, even if you already have product, go ahead. I dare you to go and go through the process. It will show you how many things you're actually missing that you need before you go to market. So it's a fantastic exercise on how to take a product to market. The first thing that will tell you is that you need a video. Now, why a video? If you're familiar with direct marketing, you will know that sites that have a video are pulling up to 20 times more than sites that do not have a video, especially landing sites, mini sites, sales sites, direct marketing sites. So a video is very important. For everything that you do, a video is important. Especially think of an infomercial about you combined with an infomercial about your product, because it is not all about your product, it is also about you. Videos, the good videos, the ones that get funded, have the owners or the CEOs or the creators in the video, because people relate to people. People do not things. So you need people. You need to ask people to help you. You need to ask people to give you money. We have best practices for video making. Not, I don't mean the technical side. You can shoot it with your iPhone. You can shoot it with any phone. No, I mean the marketing side. How to make a connection. How long should it be? How long should you be on camera? What should you say? We have all of that for you in our quick start guide office, and ask for it and they'll give it to you. By the way, we're turning that into a book. We're turning our guide into a book. Why? Because it's what you need anyways to start a business, not just in self-funding, but anywhere. What self-funding does is accelerate your business, your funding, your customers. We will teach you how to leverage social media. And I don't mean just Facebook and telling people on Facebook. That's not going to work. There's a formula. It's by the numbers. If you follow our formula by the numbers, you will get the results by the numbers. It is direct percentages and dollars. It's the same. Any type of content sharing, right? It's all about the numbers in direct marketing. We will give you the tools so you can share your content, your video, your photos, your sales page or landing page, your explanations, your features, your benefits, why you're doing your project. We will help you do outreach programs. with bloggers, of you and other bloggers. One of the things you do as well is access the media. Get your product in magazines, get your product on TV, get your project on TV, get you on TV. Now, will that solve all your problems? No. There's a formula and you have to follow the formula. This is only one step of the formula to get that you need. Email list. We will show you how to create a mailing list. By the way, if you're in business, if you're starting a project, you should be starting your business with a mailing list. Email, regular mail, whatever you want. People that you meet. You know, when you meet somebody, wherever you meet them, at a party, at a coffee shop, and you're having a business conversation, you should enter that email somewhere and start creating your email list. And this is if you don't have a subscription-based. I have a subscription-based. If you've gone to any of my websites, including my personal website, you know that everything is subscription. You can subscribe to everything. You can subscribe to my newsletter. You can subscribe to my RSS feed. You can subscribe to LinkedIn. You can follow me on Facebook. You can do a lot of things. Now, without counting the social media, focusing on traditional email lists, like I told you before, I have more than 100,000 subscribers. That's not my contact list. That's another list. This is just from subscribers. These are people that go to the website, like something, and they subscribe with their email. You should have that too. You should start building it because it will help you with a lot of things. It will help you with design. It will help you by running ideas with people, through people, finding partners, letting them know what you're doing. Email list is important not just for soft funding, but for your business. This is very high level. What we're talking today is very high level. It is an introduction and a quick introduction to soft funding. We will start doing seminars, webinars, coaching lessons, where we will go through the process, but these are going to be with people that are already in the program. Getting started with us and with soft funding is free. Just go to softfunding.com. That's all you need to do. Start your project, and you will get a call for an appointment with your project manager. This is not going to be a typical call because they're going to go over your business model. So be prepared. They're going to talk about your personal goals, what you want, what you need. We already know a lot of the costs, so if you don't know them, don't worry about it. We will tell you how much you need. If you're producing something, whatever it is a consumer electronic, beverage, or some other type of consumer good, we will tell you how much it costs. If we do not know, we will get you somebody to help you and mentor you. From outside our mentoring group, who knows? We have people and mentors from Fortune 500 companies that already committed to helping. How does that work? Well, they come to the site, they see the projects, and whatever they like, they start collaborating. They contact you directly or through us, and they tell you, I like your project. I'm, vice president or director of marketing for so-and-so company, and I'd like to help you. They're also giving because they know you will be giving back. If we do not know the answer to something, we will get one of these executives to come in and help us or help you directly so that you can figure out. Maybe there's something about programming or something that we're not familiar with. We'll get you the right person, the right mentor. And all of this is part of the program because you have to succeed. If you raise capital and you cannot produce, we will look bad, not just you. So we have to make sure that you have our costs, that you have your costs, that you know how much to roll out. We went very quickly through a lot of information, but that's okay. This is just an introduction so that you know what we're doing, so you can take it a step further, go and sign up, and that we can get started. We have an outreach program. We are expecting a couple of 100 projects to come in all at the same time. So if you're thinking of doing something, think harder. If you will do it, if you want to do it, you're convinced you want to do it, then go with our funding and get started. And do it now before we get our 100 or 200 projects. To get those projects, we're doing an outreach program with schools. We're going to schools, mostly universities, and getting together with their business majors and other people. And we are taking them by the hand and teaching them all of these tools. Some of them, some schools already committed that they will actually create a self-funding program inside their campus. So you can join or you can take it as a class. And to graduate, you must have this project. Isn't that terrific? So what's going to happen is we're going to be making entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs. We're going to be cloning Bill Gates 100 times over. And that's what we want. So make sure that you have software before we're getting all of these projects and we have to close down or slow down. Go ahead and type your questions. I'm going to open the chat.